The Washington Commanders are moving forward with a $3.7 billion stadium development at the former RFK Stadium site after President Biden signed federal legislation transferring 180 acres of prime Washington, D.C. real estate to local control on January 6, 2025. Welcome to Big Builds. The Robert F. Kennedy Memorial Stadium Campus Revitalization Act represents the largest federal land transfer for sports facility development in decades, providing the Commanders with a 99-year lease on federally owned property just 2 miles east of the U.S. Capitol. The legislation culminates years of political maneuvering and sets the stage for one of the most expensive stadium projects in NFL history, surpassing even the record-setting costs of recent venue construction. The proposed facility will feature 65,000 seats with a translucent roof, designed specifically to host Super Bowl games and other major events throughout the year. Combined with $1 billion in additional infrastructure investments funded by the District of Columbia, the total project cost positions this as the most expensive stadium development in professional sports history, exceeding SoFi Stadium's $5.5 billion price tag when adjusted for inflation and scope. Location proves crucial to the project's significance and political complexity. The 174-acre development site sits directly on East Capitol Street near the Anacostia River, providing convenient access to Washington's downtown core while offering sufficient space for the comprehensive, mixed-use development the team envisions. This proximity to federal government operations, tourist attractions, and the national political media creates unique opportunities and complications that distinguish this project from typical suburban stadium developments. The federal land transfer process began in earnest following the change in team ownership and the organization's rebranding from the controversial Washington name that had generated decades of political pressure. New ownership under Josh Harris recognized that securing a premier location within the District of Columbia required navigating complex federal bureaucracy, given that the RFK site remained under federal control despite the original stadium's demolition in 2019. Biden's signature on January 6th represents just the beginning of an extended approval process that involves multiple levels of government oversight. The D.C. Council must still provide final authorization for the project, with preliminary approval granted on August 1st, 2025, and final voting scheduled for September 17th, 2025. This timeline reflects the careful political coordination required for such a massive public-private partnership involving federal land and substantial local government investment. The development timeline targets a 2030 opening, providing 5 years for design, permitting, and construction of what promises to be one of the most technologically advanced venues in professional sports. The translucent roof system represents a key innovation designed to provide weather protection while maintaining the outdoor football atmosphere preferred by many fans and players, addressing concerns about enclosed facilities affecting game quality or fan experience. Dr. Patricia Williams, urban development economist at Georgetown University, explains the broader implications of the project for Washington's development patterns and urban planning strategies. This represents a fundamental shift in how major sports facilities integrate with urban cores, Williams notes. Rather than suburban isolation that characterized many recent stadium projects, this development embraces downtown connectivity while creating a year-round entertainment destination that extends far beyond football operations. The financing structure reflects modern trends in stadium development, though specific details remain under negotiation between team ownership and district officials. The team will provide the majority of the $3.7 billion stadium cost through private financing mechanisms, while the District of Columbia commits $1 billion for infrastructure improvements, including new roads, parking facilities, and utility upgrades necessary to support the massive development and its anticipated traffic impacts. Infrastructure investments extend beyond basic transportation and utilities to include comprehensive mixed-use development that transforms the entire RFK campus into an entertainment district. Plans call for hotels, restaurants, retail establishments, and residential components that create a true entertainment destination rather than a single-purpose sports facility used only during football season. This approach reflects lessons learned from other recent NFL stadium projects about maximizing year-round revenue potential and community integration. The project's scope includes expansion of the adjacent Kingman Park neighborhood, development of an indoor sports complex featuring track and gymnasium facilities, and extensive park improvements that serve both event attendees and local residents. These community amenities represent attempts to address concerns about gentrification and displacement that often accompany major sports facility developments in urban areas, though critics question whether such measures adequately protect existing communities. Political considerations have complicated the project's trajectory, particularly regarding the team's former name controversy and ongoing partisan divisions. Former President Trump threatened to block the deal in July 2025, demanding restoration of the previous name as a condition for federal approval. This intervention created uncertainty about federal cooperation even after the land transfer legislation's passage, highlighting how professional sports facility development increasingly intersects with partisan politics. The political drama surrounding Trump's demands illustrates how professional sports facility development has become entangled with cultural controversies and partisan battles that extend far beyond sports or local economic development. Team ownership has maintained its commitment to the current commander's branding, while navigating federal requirements and local political pressures that could affect project approval even after legislative authorization. Mayor Muriel Bowser's administration has championed the project as a catalyst for broader economic development in the district's eastern neighborhoods that have historically received less investment than other areas. The April 28, 2025 press conference featuring Bowser alongside NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and team ownership demonstrated the political coalition supporting the development despite ongoing federal complications and community concerns. Stadium design incorporates lessons learned from recent NFL venue construction, particularly regarding fan experience, revenue generation, and operational efficiency. The 65,000-seat capacity targets the optimal size for NFL operations, while remaining large enough to host Super Bowl games, FIFA World Cup matches, and WrestleMania events that require extensive seating capacity and premium amenities for major event production. The translucent roof system represents significant technological advancement in stadium design, providing comprehensive weather protection without completely enclosing the playing surface or eliminating natural lighting. This approach addresses climate concerns while maintaining the outdoor football atmosphere that distinguishes NFL games from indoor arena sports. The roof design also enables year-round event hosting that maximizes facility utilization and revenue generation beyond the 8 regular season NFL games. Revenue projections for the completed facility target over 200 events annually, extending far beyond NFL football to include concerts, graduation ceremonies, international soccer matches, political conventions, and other entertainment programming. This diversified usage model reflects modern sports facility economics that require multiple revenue streams to justify massive construction investments and ongoing operational costs. The project's impact on Washington's hospitality and tourism industry could prove substantial, given the facility's proximity to existing tourist attractions, federal government operations, and the national political media. Hotel occupancy, restaurant traffic, and retail sales in the surrounding area are expected to increase significantly during major events, though economists caution that much spending may simply shift from other locations rather than creating entirely new economic activity. Construction employment will provide significant short-term economic benefits, with thousands of jobs created during the 5-year development timeline across multiple skilled trades. Local hiring requirements and minority contractor participation goals aim to ensure construction benefits reach district residents, though enforcement of these provisions will require ongoing monitoring as the project progresses through various construction phases. The facility's design emphasizes accessibility and public transportation connectivity, addressing concerns about traffic congestion and environmental impact that accompany major sports venue development in urban areas. Metro system integration and dedicated bus service aim to reduce automobile dependency while improving access for fans throughout the Washington metropolitan area, though questions remain about capacity during major events. Long-term community impact extends beyond economic considerations to include questions about neighborhood character, affordable housing preservation, and gentrification pressures that typically accompany major development projects. The district's commitment to infrastructure investment and community amenities reflects recognition that major sports developments can either catalyze positive neighborhood change or accelerate displacement if not carefully managed with appropriate protections. The Washington Commanders' $3.7 billion stadium represents a new model for NFL facility development that prioritizes urban integration over suburban isolation, while demonstrating the complex political dynamics surrounding major sports infrastructure projects in the current era. As construction progresses toward the 2030 target opening, this project will provide important lessons about balancing private sports facility investment with public community development goals. The facility's development occurs within broader national conversations about public investment in professional sports infrastructure and the appropriate balance between private benefit and public cost. We'll continue tracking this development through all phases of construction and community impact assessment as it progresses toward completion. For comprehensive coverage of major NFL stadium projects and their effects on local communities, subscribe to Big Builds and enable notifications for our detailed project analysis.